someone who's trying desperately to prove that their team are not frauds or at least chokers, because every big tournament comes around. We know what to expect with the Proteas, but all the time we place our hearts and our trust and we say this time they can do it. Proteas, ICC Champions Trophy is on the verge of starting. I think this Wednesday it gets underway. Temba Bavuma, sorry, first games against Afghanistan. He says he believes they've got the tools to go all the way. Jay, after the warm-up games in the Tri Series and what we've seen before against India, against Pakistan, in terms of white ball cricket, what's your faith in this side and what do you think they can do?
Tema Bavuma, I love you more than I love any athletes in this country at the moment. But I don't know if I'm buying what you're selling, and he has to say that though. You know, like you can't say I don't think we have a chance. But when I so I take his words at face value, with a healthy heaping of salt, because 6 games lost in a row, and what Temba argues for is that in the last 2 games, which though in those warm-up games in the Tri Series against New Zealand and Pakistan, which both we lost, it's not the team that you're going to see at the Champions Trophy. You've now had guys fly in, and there's a game happening at the time of recording. It's happening right now, and that starting 11 or so, the starting 11 is a warm-up game. It is made up mostly of the team that you're going to see at the tournament. I think the only player missing is Heinrich Klaassen, but Rabada is back in there. You've got Markram in there. You've got Stubbs in there. You've got Dezozi playing in that match. You've got Van der Dusen playing in that match, and then you've got the tall all-rounder as well, Marco Jansen. He's also in that match. So the argument that Timber is making is that we do not have our guns, and so you cannot judge us on that. But I saw what happened when we played Pakistan at home as well. I saw what happened though we won that series against Ireland at a struggle, 2-1. And I saw what happened when we played against Afghanistan when they won the series against us, and Afghanistan are in our group. And as I keep saying when I come on here, Afghanistan are going to throw spin at us, and everything is a mystery when we are playing against Spain. And we're playing on the subcontinent. Now we expect the pitches to be flat. We saw again in those matches in the Tri Series. But you still think that is something that is going to come into play. We're coming up against an Afghanistan who they don't have Mujib. I don't know why they didn't select him. They say that he's got an injury, but that's interesting because he's actually replacing his teammate in the IPL who actually has an injury. But they still have Noor Ahmad, and they still have Rashid Khan especially. And that's gonna be a trial by fire, you know. Against Australia, Australia don't have the top 3 strike bowlers. Cummins is out, Stark is out, as well as Josh Hazlewood. So that presents an opportunity. I'm not here saying that South Africa have zero chance, right? But when I think of the fact that we've lost 6 games in a row, and I think it's 8 of the last 11, I'm not filled with a great big confidence. I look at the team on paper though, and especially coming off the SA20, and I know it's a different format, there's some confidence. The thing I want to see, I want to see Rickleton and Bavuma and Van der Dusen form the top 3. I think particularly, and what happened in the T20 and also what happened in the SA20 and what else happened in the test matches, particularly with Ryan Rickleton, I do want to see him at the top of the order. And I want to see him there with Bavuma, and I want to see Van der Dusen coming in after that because of the relationship he has with Rickleton at franchise level. And I think the man to miss out is Tony Dezozi. You know, I don't think he's set the scene alight in terms of opening, particularly in the shorter formats. And in recent times, just based on form, and my mind always goes back to that 2015 World Cup when we had a player on form and we decided to go back to Philander, who was coming from injury, who was the career-wise was the better bowler, you know. But based on what we'd seen, we were supposed to continue with the hot hand. And I think that's what you do going to a tournament. Like, you only have this confined amount of time, and you look around and you decide very quickly what is best right here, right now. Not historically, not what we're looking to do down the line, but here in the moment, and then you go with that. And I think, and that's what I would go with. I'm confident in our batting. It's in our bowling where I'm really questioning, because yes, you've got Rabada, you know, and you've got I'm forgetting the all-rounder again.
Keshav Janssen.
You've got Janssen as well, and then you've got Keshav. Yes, those 3 very confident. But where the other 20 overs are gonna come from, with Mulder and another all-rounder, maybe that has me nervous. But yeah, Chuck, I'm not going into this one with any expectations. Surprise me. That's what my message to the Proteas is. Surprise me. I'll be supporting. I'll be there. I'll be rooting, and I'm hoping. But yeah, the form coming into this one does not fill me with the same kind of confidence that I had going to the 2023 World Cup when we had like put big scores on the board against Australia, and then also in the World Cup itself. And it was disappointing to see what happened in the semi-final. But in this one, yeah, my expectations are very, very low.
I wish we chased in this warm-up game just so I can see in the last 3 games at least different faces of the Proteas, how we look like setting a target, what do we look like when the pressure's on getting to the target. And I think, Jay, historically, I'd like to say, I don't know if I got the facts to say this, but in my mind, if we play in a country on batting tracks that are low scoring, that favors us a lot. But if teams are going to be scoring 300 plus almost every game regularly, then the pressure's on, because then we don't do very well in terms of chasing number one. And as you said, those 20 overs, those can fly. Those can go for what, 60, 80 and stuff like that. And you don't want that if you're trying to block the other end. So I think, Jay,
160, Chuck. They can go for 160.
That's a
lot.
Lot.
If you conceding like around that from the 20 overs, that's already that's a score of 400.
So we don't need that to begin with, number one, right? Which puts immense pressure. And I think the guys can handle it on the Kagisos and Janssens in terms of get the wickets first up. But I think, Jay, we've got competent guys, just that sometimes as a team, because either we play well all together or it's domino effect and there's a batting collapse, or there's like we saw in the game against Pakistan, we just can't get the wickets. How the guys got hundreds, and you're like, guys, come on, you can do better. Slow them down, yeah. Or, okay, get wickets. Like do something. Slow them down or get wickets. They did neither, And obviously, tempted to say those aren't the guys who are going to the Champions Trophy. Granted, but the other guys in the management of the players and the field placing, the strategies, could they not have worked maybe to get 1 wicket in that final partnership? I don't know. But I think, Jay, as I said, you throw your hearts in there, you throw your hopes in there, and you see what happens, because you're a Proteas fan at the end of the day. You are a South African at the end of the day, and you just hope, because, as much as Australia don't have the bowlers, they've got the batting firepower still. You worry about that. These games are just made for England at this point in time, because they swing bat all the time, right? And obviously, even outside of our group, we know that India are heavy favorites. So it's a big gauntlet to get through to get our hands on the trophy, and I think. In prior World Cups, you're like, India are the ones to beat. Didn't really look that hard, other teams. But now I think it's changed a bit in terms of the guys who are ahead of us. So, yeah, you want to be optimistic nonetheless, even though I know you can tell from my voice that not too much confidence is permeating through. But I think, Jay, if we get runs up front, I think, as you said, Rickleton as well. I think I agree with you in terms of De Zorzi. I looked at Brisker making runs this weekend, and I was like, if I could make a change in the squad, that's who I'd swap for De Zorzi, Matthew Brisker. So I think, Jay, if we get 200 runs from the first 4 batsmen, then we're good. And I think that should be consistent. If not, then obviously the Stubbs and the Janssens need to put in a shift. And I don't think you have to rely on them too much. But also, I think we just need to be flawless in the field. The South African trademark, flawless in the field, don't concede too many things. And also, Janssen, please be disciplined when you're bowling. Mulder, try some variations. We need as much as we can get in terms of our bag of tricks. But yeah, let's see what happens with that one.